The exhibition is about the one part of Italy that we don't know very well, which is the internal areas. No, it's not the metropolis and not the big city, but it's the system of small city, which is based on the Italian structure, urban structure. Then the story started 1,000 years ago, with the city-state. The 1,000 cities of Italy, that was creating a network in the peninsula. And now it's still one of the strongest parts of the country, because we have few big cities, but in reality the 60% of the territory is about small city and the connection between the small cities. So now after we discovering the city is a difficult place, we're rediscovering that maybe small city connected with the landscaping, cultures, and economy, it starts maybe to be a new model. But Italy have this model for 1,000 years, so that's why we want to tell a story and also call architects to present their project in this area. So they are not big projects, it's a small project, it's house in a village, or renovating an existing buildings, or design a square, or recuperating a belvedere. So it's like a micro intervention, but also this is the scale of architecture. Architecture is not only about big projects, it's the capacity of an architect to be able to have the measure to do intervention. Not always shouting, but able to have the right size how to make these buildings. We call 6 architects to work in 5 very particular areas of Italy. One is about living with the forest. We have an extraordinary place like in the north of Italy, in the central Italy, called the Foreste Casentinesi. And in this area, for 1,000 years, the people living in the forest and working with the forest. So now we want to show that an architecture can be an opportunity to rebuild this connection of work, design, and economy. Or in the central area of the earthquake in Camerino, which is another very dramatic place. We don't talk about the reconstruction, this is more complicated, but about a small intervention that can, in this period of time, waiting for rebuilding the city, you need a space for social relationship. And then we go down in the south, in Basilicata, in these stations that are connected with the country, the high-speed train, but we need also a slow connection in the city. So we talk about this place where normally in the south, people using the railway station to leave the country. We want to show it that this is a place not to leave, but to arrive. And then in Sicily, with this place called Gibellina, is an ideal city of 1970. It was a very interesting experimental things. And we would like to point that we need to finish. It's a theater by a very famous artist, Piero Consagra. The architects designed how to create in this building, it's a big concrete building, creating a public space. And then go to Sardinia, very particular area, abandoned area, but it's a very strange place because it's beautiful as a landscape. It's a big industry was built in 1980, which now is abandoned, and it's a small village. In this area, people living more than 100 years, and we design a little place for them. So architecture in this case is how we can solve problems through good architecture. So that is the aim of this pavilion. For the exhibition, we try to make these 8 big books, which is every book tells a story about a trip in Italy. And I think it suggests also that for us the free space is the space between the city. This huge area between small city is actually our free space. But also I think the suggestion of the pavilion is the free space is also something in your mind. It's not only the physical space, it's the freedom. And I think Italy tells us a beautiful story that we're creating square in the city, not only by architectural proportional, because the square was the representation of the freedom of people. what I give back to this group of architects and this research is we need to rebuild this bridge with our past, not for nostalgic point of view. I'm not nostalgic, I'm looking for the future, of course. But don't forget, we are not the only architects in the planet. You have 1,000 years of history, and a lot of architects find a lot of beautiful solutions. So maybe if we rebuild that bridge of knowledge, maybe it can help a lot to facing also the problem of sustainability, because we talk about sustainability, but it's not new. This happened for 1,000 years. So for me, the message of the pavilion is to help architects to rebuild that bridge. So it's a knowledge bridge. And the project here, the architects, they make a very good job, is to, by contemporary architecture, find this link. And that's why they're so strong. The projects are very, very good, very strong, because they contemporary, but at the same time they link in that relation.